Welcome back, day 11, week 3. We're going to be hitting up core again, as always, and the back. We're going to hit up a weighted back set. I'm going to be using 125-pound dumbbell and 215s for the set coming up later. Let's get warmed up, and then we'll get going. So let's go into a child's pose. Hinge your hips back nice and far. Reach your arms way out in front of you. Settle the forehead on the ground if you can. Find some traction in the back. So make your arms strong and flexed as opposed to the elbows sitting and resting on the ground. Go ahead and lift up your head and then just rotate your right shoulder into the ground and then your left. And then your right and then your left. So keep your hips level and just rotate that upper back side to side. Go a couple more here. And then push into the hands. Bring your chest forward between your elbows. Flex through the glutes. Open that chest. Take your left ear to left shoulder. And then right ear to right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. And right ear to the right. All right, bringing your body back. Point your fingertips towards your knees and just stretch through the forearms. Maybe bend one elbow and the other. And then bring your left leg forward. Find your lunge position. Tuck your hips under, and we're going to twist over that left leg. 10 on the left, 10 on the right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch it up. We'll go to that other side. And then we're going to get rolling, starting off with some planks. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we're going to be hitting up a 1-minute plank, followed by a 1-minute side plank, followed by a 1-minute side plank. Then we're going to go back to center and we're going to do a Ticktock plank. Let me show you what that looks like. Elbows will be down. Make sure the chest is up over those elbows. Then you're going to rock one hip down and then the other. You want your hips and low back to rotate together, and your twist is going to be coming through the mid back. So make sure you're pressed evenly between both elbows. 20 total, 10 each side. Then we're going to go back into a side plank, and we're going to hit up 10 dips on the left and then 10 on the right. So make sure that you have your nice high hips, and you want to try and see if you can keep that top leg straight. If you need to cross it over for a little bit of help and assistance, feel free. But the goal is to be getting the work into that oblique on the side. Then we're going to go back to the front after you get both side dips. You're going to go back into your front plank. Feel free to go into a high plank if you need, and you're going to go into a pendulum. So one leg's going to go out and then the other, side to side. Still keeping that core locked in tight. So the tendency is going to be to lose the hips, have them rock up and down. We want to try to set it in and hold strong and tight through that core. And then we're going to go back to a side plank, and we're going to do a side plank crunch like this. All right, now for some of us, planking doesn't work out so hot and is not super beneficial for stuff that's going on in your cervical spine, shoulders, and neck. So that's fine. I'll give you some alternates to do. If you're not going to be holding a plank, I'm going to have you hit up a bird dog. So you can extend your opposite arm and leg, extend all the way out, bring it back in, tap on the ground, other side, bring it back. This is still actually one of the best, most effective, most recommended core exercises. So even if you Google or Pinterest or whatever exercises that are good for the core, non-crunchers, a bird dog is still super top of the list. So those are going to be great. When we hit up our side plank, see if you can rotate into a side, just a supported hold here. Okay. If not, then you're going to stay on your hands and knees And I want you to extend that arm out in front and then tuck in to the hip. So just the goal here is going to be to try to find your obliques. Okay. Then when we hit back to the front, I'm going to have you cat cow. So hands and knees. Inhale, push chest forward. Exhale and round. Getting into that core. If you focus enough and flex in through the belly, you'll definitely be getting the core. And then I'll talk you along from there. So you'll be ending up in a bird dog, the side hinge, and a cat cow. And you can cycle through those. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started. Our first 1 minute. Let me get my timer going. Our 1 minute plank. Ready, set, and go. Otherwise, you're in your bird dog. And you can go whatever pace works for you, but I would recommend nice and slow and controlled. You want to get that torso, that core under tension. And you shouldn't wait until you start getting tired to get the flexion going. So to keep your stamina, to keep pushing to your max in your planks, you want to find as much shake and flexion and burn as fast as possible. So we're already over halfway there. Tuck that tailbone under. Find traction between your elbows and toes. So push into the elbows. Pull the elbows back toward the toes. You'll feel everything underneath that rib cage tighten a little deeper. Tuck your tailbone. Flex those glutes. 7 seconds, and then we're going to rotate to our side. 3, 2, and 1. Rotate over to your side. You're going to hit up that side plank. Lift nice and high. The goal here is to try to get your hips in line with the shoulders. And then remember, if you're not doing a side plank, you're going to try to rotate onto your hand and knee and just hold a plank there. Or you can stay on your hands and knees and you'll take then your one arm and crunch it in. All right, that's what we'll be going for. So try to find flexion through the back to help support through the shoulder, so you're not just putting all the work in the shoulder. Then, of course, we want to find that oblique, front of the belly, and then flex into your thighs. So grab some leg flex to help support the pelvis, push it up off the ground. 10 seconds. Nice, deep, even breaths. Feel that one side grab deep, and then let's turn over to the other side. Twist and lift. So now if you're in your hands and knees, you'll just hit that other side, just as we are. Scan the body, check in with all your flexions and points, contraction points. We're dialing into that oblique, but still keep control, contraction, and focus the front of the belly as well. Tighten it in, hold it strong. We have 20 seconds left here. Lift up out of that armpit, so you kind of suck the armpit in to grab the muscle behind the armpit. After this, we're going to be back into the center on our forearms, hitting a Ticktock plank. Ready and go. So otherwise, go back to your bird dog. So we're going to count these through. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your range is up to you. How much flexibility and mobility you have in that mid back. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, try to go back to that side without taking a break. And we're going to do dips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice big range of motion. 7, 8. Strong straight top leg. 10. Other side. Trying not to take a break. So try not to put your hips down. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. Back to your front. Try not to take a break. And we're going to hit our pendulum kicks. 1, 2. If you're on your hands and knees in a bird dog position, just try pulling one leg out and then the other. Our focus and goal here is the core. So stay in the core. 8, 9, hips stay as level as possible. 10. Okay, back to your side plank. Try not to take a break. And we're going to crunch. Top arm, top leg, crunch together. 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. Tuck and roll. Extend and crunch. 2, 3, 4. Don't just do the motions. Tighten deep. Get the work where you want it. 9 and 10. Now we can take a break. 5.5 minutes holding that core. Perfect. All right, we are going to stay consistent with flexing through that core as we work in through our back set. All right, so before we get to the weights, we're going to hit up 5 burpees, just like we did last week, focusing on our form as opposed to a million reps. So if burpees aren't really working for you yet, a few different options you can take. So you can plant your hands, walk back, drop your knees, hit your tricep push-up, and then walk back in. That's totally fine. When we're done doing our burpees, you can be done too. Another option is to not worry about the push-up and just plant your hands, jump back, jump in, and up. But the biggest deal is that I'm hoping, as long as it works for your neck and shoulders and upper body, is that you can eventually get that full drop with the chest to the ground, elbows squeezed in tight, right? So when you hit your push-up, your elbows are in and your hands are back behind your shoulder heads. So you plant, drop straight in, push up, and then bring it up to the top. If all that doesn't work, no worries. You're going to hinge and jump. Hinge and jump, okay? Still focus on that core. All right, from there, we're going to go into a lawnmower. So our lawnmower, everything will be at 15. You're going to square off your hips, grab the one weight, pull the hip down. This is where I'm going to use my 25. So you can get a little deeper into the lat on this lawnmower. Really focus there and go a little heavier. So I'd really challenge you, if you have access to a little heavier weight, to grab that. And then we're going to do a back tap. So you're going to hinge forward, arms are going to be straight, and then you're going to tap your weights behind. Trying, so your weights are going to hang long. You're going to try to tap the bottom of the weights that are hanging together behind you. So stop the weights at the thighs, reach back behind. Then I'm going to go back to my 25, and we're going to do an overhead pull. So you're going to lie on the ground, push your low back into the ground, hold that weight, straight arms, reach overhead, and then pull back up. So the 2 points of focus here are the core and the upper back. So right underneath and behind your armpits, and then all across that upper back. And we're going to go that for 3 rounds. All right, so we're going to start off with the burpee or your alternate. Get those elbows in tight. This I still kind of think of as a back move, because if you can get your chest to the ground, if you're able to hit the burpee, then, and get that full drop, you really do develop the muscle behind those armpits. But it's all about really proper form. 1. Get that chest down, elbows drag deep. We need to use that core that we just checked in with, woke up, and heated. 5. I like doing a little bit though, because I find you can really keep focus on that form. All right. I'm going to go right leg forward, left leg back, super long lunge. Level off on that front thigh, square off the hips, pull the elbow close to your rib cage. Teeny little twist through that upper back as you pull the elbow up. Focus on your back, especially with back moves. I really find that if you pay attention to what you want to be using, you can really dig in deeper, get the work into the back, which is really where we want it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So try to stay away from bicep, shoulder, tricep. Get into that lat. Square off the hips. Pull with the back. Belly holds strong. Strong upper backs make so much of what we do in everyday life better. You definitely release tension in your neck and traps. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you feel like you're all in the arm, drop your weight. Find flexion first through the back. Focus there. Then get the movement. Just like we did with our first day of back work, we flexed and moved without any weight. I really want you to kind of keep that in mind. Flex first, then reach back. No swinging here. Chest is up, core strong. 8, those shoulders stay back and down. We want to use the back to do the work. You'll feel a little tricep, feel a little core. That's all good. But tighten, there's 15 between those shoulder blades. All right, our overhead pull. And then we're back to burpees. So on this, your range is up to you. Keep your hips down, low back on the ground. Just as far as you feel your core super grab, the back engage. Pull around that rib cage, belly strong. So just how we find our core when we do a dead bug or a plank. Have that pelvic tuck without grabbing your glutes. So the glutes are not involved. It's your upper back and core. Slide the shoulder blades down. Five to go. 4. And 1. Being able to keep those hips tucked and that core grabbed in is super, super indicative of how strong and healthy and aware your core is. Okay, 5 burpees. They should be tougher this time. Really focus on that core. Drop straight into that push-up. Hold that plank position. 5. And if you need a push-up from your knees and quads, that's totally fine. All right, I'm going to start my right side this time. Left leg forward, right leg back. Nice long lunge. Square those hips off. Pack the back first and go. Take your time. Focus on what you're doing. 7. We're not just trying to pull that elbow up, we're trying to get into the back. So lengthen the back and then grab that lat. Where's the core? Keep it strong. 15. Other side. Set it up. Square off the hips and go. Take your mind to the muscle you want to work. Work both directions of the move. So we're not just letting gravity take us back to the ground. Resist there. Both shoulder blades slide down the spine. 10. Find your core. Square those hips off. Use your back. And 15. Okay, back taps. Strong core. Hinge forward. Make sure the back is flat. Belly strong. Here we go. 1, 2. Think about where you want to work. I know I keep saying it. That's really where you take your workout next level. Really start feeling changes being made. Each rep counts. Each direction counts. 3, 2, and 1. What's going on in the rest of the body? That counts as well. Everything matters. Okay, lie on your back. We're going to do those overhead pulls. We're here for core and back. So right here you have that natural low back arch. And then what we want to do is just tuck that core. So flex your belly, exhale, tighten it in. Your glutes are relaxed. Reach, find that upper back, and pull. So arms go overhead. 2. Your rib cage is going to want to pop. That low back's going to want to come off the ground. You're resisting that with the core. 5, 6, 7. Set it in. This one's better done a little slower. We're just at 10. Check in between ears and shoulders. So stay relaxed there. 13, 14, 15. All right. Last set. Hitting up those burpees or your alternate. Find that back as you push up. Focus the core. That's 3, 4, 5. Woo! All right. Lawnmowers. One leg forward, one leg back. Set it in, feel the work. 1, 2. Square off the shoulders. So try not to collapse in your supporting shoulder blade. That scapula shouldn't really be winging. Give me 5 more. 5, 4, feel the back, the lat, the core. 2, and 1. Find your form. Building this back, even as you're like reaching forward for things, picking things up, being able to engage across this upper back. So effective and helpful for building strength, even for what you're doing with the rest of the arm. 10. Come on. Get that lat. 13. 14. 15. All right. Little stretch. Chest forward and round. Even on these days that aren't super high intensity, you should be feeling that heat build, sweat add up, lots of muscle contraction. It's not just in the weight you select, it's in how you set your form, how you flex the core, back. Here we go. Back taps. 2, 3, 5. Roll those shoulder heads back. Take your brain to that upper middle back. Build the muscle along your scapula, rhomboids. 3, 2, check that core. 1. Very excited for how my back is going to be feeling next couple days. Okay, on the floor, tuck those hips under. Set in, reach, and bring it back. 1, 2. Extend, extend. Tuck through that core. 5. Doing fantastic. 6. Get the work in that upper back and core. Feel the space between your ears and shoulders. Feel how the flexion of the back facilitates all the strength up the arm. 5 more. Use your pelvic floor muscles. So from your crotch all the way up towards your belly button. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, flush those arms a second. We're going to go back through our core set minus our held planks. So we're just going to shave off 3 minutes. We get our TikToks, side dips, pendulum, and side crunch. So if you're not planking, set up for your bird dog. Ready, set, and go. 1, 2, 3. Drop that hip. Flex into the back to support your plank. 8, 9, 10. Now try without relaxing. or breaking, go to your side plank, hip dip. 10, 9, 8. We're not trying to pulse through. 5, get into that oblique. 3, 2, 1. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Stack those shoulders. 9, 10. Now your pendulum. Tap that toe. 2. Keep your chest up between the elbows. You got it. 5, 7, 'kay, don't take a break. Turn. Find your side plank. Extend. Crunch. 2. Not rushing. 4. Find it where you want it. 5. 9, 10. Flip it over. Extend. Here we go. 2, 3. Smile. 4, 6. Feel flexion on your extension and on that crunch. 9, 10. Oh, whew. Nice work, nice work. All right, let's hit up a little scorpion stretch. Good for the back. So lie on your belly. Put your arms out really wide. Stay your left arm first, away from you on the ground. Palm is down. So bend your right knee, lift your thigh off the ground, and then twist it. Open that hip up, and then put your foot on the ground. See if you can relax your head down. Low grade heart rate day. Those are actually super effective with weightlifting. Build higher metabolism. So your burn throughout the day is higher. It's really all good. All right, roll it back down. There's not a quick fix for anything really. Left leg bends, lift the leg, twist it over. Health overall, I think you can impact that pretty quickly if you can somehow manage stress and sleep. Tinker with your phone, so set up a do not disturb. Takes time at first, but you can really build good habits. Staying off your phone after a certain time. People start to know as well. You're just not going to be reached. After 8 p.m., after 7 p.m. is when mine shuts down. All right, roll back to center. And then push back and up into your downward facing dog. So slide those hips up and back. Feel the belly engage. Slide the shoulder blades down. Now bend your left knee and really drive back to feel your right hamstring and calf. Stretch. And then now your left leg. Straighten, bend your right knee. Push back toward that thigh. Check in with your core again. Okay, lift that right leg up and we're going to bring it forward for our pigeon. So using your core, tuck the knee in and up toward your right wrist and then swing your left ankle across the mat. So this is what you look like. The outside of your calf is on the ground and then you just slowly move that left leg back and down, but you only go down so low as you can. Keep your pelvis square to the ground. Okay, now plant into those hands and then grip in and then pull those hands back without moving them to feel the chest lift and the shoulders drop. Tuck your chin back. Okay, and then just walk your hands a little to the right and then to the left. And then push back into them. So you got to bring that knee back in first. Push into the hands. Drive your right leg back. Now we're going to lift the left up. Nice and high. Oh, it feels so good on that right leg. Tuck in. Bring your knee toward the left wrist. And then swing your foot out. Walk your back knee back. Only so low as your pelvis is square to the ground. Okay, grip into those hands. Find your traction. Slide those shoulders down. Pull the chest up. And bring your head back. Walk your hands to the left. And walk your hands to the right. And then we're going to swing that leg around. That right leg all the way around. And we're going to get our forward hinge, forward fold. Okay, sit nice and high. Remember, if you need to put your hands behind, that's fine. Where I want us to be able to get is the backs of the knees toward the ground and the chest lifted. So depending on where you're starting from, getting all the way forward with hands past the toes, we don't even need to worry about that yet. All we need to worry about is getting the backs of the knees toward the ground and not collapsing into our back. Even some of you might have to have your knees out because you're so tight in the hips. Bringing them in is like craziness on those hip flexors. So let's just start there. That's fine. Use your hands or sit up against a wall. Put your back against a wall and just see if you can slowly get the backs of the knees toward the ground. And then see if you can bring those arms up. So remember, it's not about where you're getting to. It's just, or like that ultimate, like, oh, I got to get my hands super far forward. What it's about is just giving it a shot every day, getting incrementally closer. We have years ahead of us. We have years ahead of us to get where we're going. We're not here to try to master it all in one go. The mind and the body likes to just keep at it day in and day out. All right, lift up. Let's stretch over those legs real quick. You all did fantastic. Thank you so much again for joining me and for hitting up a great weighted set. And I'll see you tomorrow.